Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Ruby Home channel. Tangerines are a familiar fruit, with a sweet and refreshing taste, easy to eat, and loved by many. Every year, when tangerine season comes, my family buys a large box to eat gradually. Therefore, I've learned how to preserve tangerines for up to 12 months while still maintaining their aroma and delicious taste. However, if you don't know how to preserve them, tangerines can easily lose moisture, become soft, or spoil quickly, especially when bought in large quantities. So today, I will guide you through a few simple ways to keep tangerines fresh longer, so they taste as good as when you first bought them. Let's get started. With this method, I use about 2 kilograms of tangerines. I always choose tangerines with thick peels and a light orange color. These hold their shape better, are less prone to bruising, and can be stored for longer. These tangerines also retain their crispness and flavor much longer than those with thin peels. Next, peel off the outer layer. Don't throw away the peels just yet. Keep them, and at the end of this article, I'll show you how to use them as a real treasure in your home. Then, gently remove as much of the white pith still attached to the fruit as possible. This helps reduce bitterness and keeps the tangerines naturally fresh and sweet during storage. Tangerines are rich in vitamin C, which supports the immune system and helps the body feel refreshed and hydrated. They are also easy to digest, making them a great fruit that my family loves and wants to enjoy year-round. After peeling the tangerines, we'll move on to preparing the water for soaking them. First, I place a pot of water on the gas stove and heat it until it simmers gently. Once the water is warm enough, I add a few slices of fresh ginger. Ginger not only adds a light aroma, but also helps clean and preserve the tangerines better. After adding the ginger, I immediately turn off the stove, making sure the water doesn't boil too vigorously before adding the tangerines to avoid damaging the segments inside. Next, I put the peeled tangerines into the warm ginger water. I only soak them for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. Soaking them for too long can make the tangerines soft or lose their natural sweetness. This brief soaking warms the fruit, cleans the surface, and reduces bacteria before long-term storage. After the time is up, I remove the tangerines and place them on a basket or tray to drain. At this point, the tangerines have been lightly cleaned and are ready for preservation. This method helps to make the tangerines cleaner, milder in aroma, and prevents them from spoiling quickly. Next, I will prepare the jars and brine for preserving the tangerines. First, I prepare 2 to 3 large glass jars with tight-fitting lids. These jars need to be cleaned beforehand to ensure hygiene during storage. Then, I pour boiling water into each jar. Making sure to leave some space at the top for steam to escape. I leave them like that for about 15 minutes to sterilize the jars, ensuring the inside is clean and safer for food storage. While waiting for the jars to sterilize, I will prepare the brine. I place a pot of water on the stove, then add a few cloves. Cloves will create a warm, gentle aroma, giving the brine a pleasant flavor without losing the natural sweetness of the tangerines. I simmer over low heat, allowing the aroma to gradually spread. When the water starts boiling, I immediately remove the cloves to prevent the water from becoming bitter if boiled for too long. Then, I turn off the heat and return to the glass jars. At this point, I empty the water from the jars, as they are already sterilized and still warm, making them ideal for immediate use. Next, I place the prepared tangerines into the glass jars one by one. I arrange them gently to prevent bruising and avoid overcrowding. When the jars are almost full, I add 1 spoonful of sugar to each jar. The sugar will help the tangerines retain their sweetness and preserve them better. Then, I slowly pour the prepared tangerine soaking liquid into the jars, ensuring the liquid completely covers the tangerines. Finally, I close the lids tightly and gently shake the jars with both hands to dissolve the sugar and allow the soaking liquid to evenly coat the tangerine segments. After the sugar has completely dissolved in the jars, I will proceed with the final step to preserve the tangerines for longer. I carefully place the glass jars in a large pot, then pour boiling water into the pot so that the water level covers about 1/4 of the jar's height. Please note that you shouldn't pour too much water to avoid it overflowing into the jars. Next, I boil for about 10 minutes. This is a very important step, as this boiling process will help sterilize the jars one last time and create a tight seal. Thanks to this step, the tangerines inside can be preserved longer while retaining their flavor and preventing spoilage during long-term storage. After boiling, I carefully remove the jars. Because the jars are still very hot at this point, remember to use a towel or other tool to avoid burns. Next, I'll cover the jars with a towel. This towel helps maintain a stable temperature during cooling and prevents dust from entering. I let the jars cool completely naturally. I don't cool them down too quickly to avoid affecting the airtightness of the jars. Once the jars have cooled completely, I'll store them in a cool place, either at room temperature or in the refrigerator, depending on availability. With this method, the tangerines not only last longer, but also have a light, pleasant aroma, making them easy to eat and convenient to use gradually. After the tangerines are preserved, I'll use the peels, something many people usually throw away, to make a natural cleaning solution for the family first. I put all the tangerine peels into a clean plastic container. The peels contain natural essential oils, so they will help create a pleasant scent and aid in cleaning quite well. Then I add 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Baking soda will enhance the cleaning ability, especially for light stains and unpleasant odors. Next, I pour in enough vinegar to completely submerge the tangerine peels. Note that you should leave some space at the top of the container to allow for aeration and prevent the mixture from overflowing during the reaction. After adding all the ingredients, I cover the container tightly with plastic wrap, then use a toothpick to poke a few small holes in the top. This step helps the air inside escape during the soaking process, preventing the container from swelling or creating pressure. I let the mixture soak for about 30 minutes. During this time, the vinegar will blend with the essential oils from the tangerine peel and baking soda, creating a solution that is quite effective at cleaning and deodorizing. After the time is up, I open the bag and use a strainer to filter out the solids, keeping only the clear liquid. Next, I pour this liquid into a spray bottle for convenient use. So, I have a natural cleaning solution from tangerine peels that can be used to spray and clean bathrooms, toilets, or areas with unpleasant odors. It utilizes readily available ingredients and helps keep the house smelling fresh. Whenever needed, simply filter the tangerine peel vinegar into a spray bottle and use it to wipe down surfaces in the kitchen and on floors. It can completely remove grease and dirt, and the fresh, mild scent of the tangerine peel is very pleasant, making daily cleaning more comfortable and natural. This video ends here. With just a simple preservation method, you can enjoy tangerines year-round and even turn tangerine peels into a useful, natural cleaning vinegar for your home. I hope these tips will make your kitchen more pleasant and reduce waste. If you found this video helpful, please like, share it with anyone who might need it, and leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.